Alright, you lads seem to like it when I do this, and I must admit I like doing this, so let's see what I got in the post. And picked up from my old guest. So I popped in Attorney Retige, and I got these. So they started offering these independently made tokens. Just something neat that they do. So here's one of the L's. On the back, there's their business card. I like that knight. I'd like it if they had made the knight into a token like that. That'd be cool. So that's Attorney Retige. Here's the other elf. And I've got a few more of these. They've got a Pikachu knight. They've got a Charizard knight. I gave one of the Pikachu knights to my daughter, of course. And then I got this. So this is a foil plane shift star compass. I must admit that when plane shift when it came out, when I was playing at the time, when I saw this card I thought, yeah, who cares, it comes to play tapped. 1 mana basically, but now that I see a foil one, I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. It's pretty, shiny, and it's basically an arcane signet that comes into play tapped. Not quite, not immediately that reliable, but in most decks, yes. Where this is going to go, I'm thinking I might put in Karavec in place of the Chromatic Lantern that I have in there now. But I don't know, the Chromatic Lantern, even though Cube, when he saw me play in Karavec, he said, Chromatic Lantern, yes, in a two-color deck. Interesting. He didn't know how much it was helping me. He didn't really pick up on that, which is good because he probably would have destroyed it. So I'm not sure where this is going to go. I have the full art, what is it, special gas, special bullshit. I've got the special bullshit full art one in Sharoom, and I like it there. So this will go somewhere, that's for sure. I got another Solemn Simulacrum, so I'm building a Jund Sacrifice deck. Decided I wanted a Solemn Simulacrum for it, and they had this one that I had seen pictures of, and I just thought, okay, that looks kind of goofy. But now that I see it in person, I think it's pretty cool. I like it. So this will probably go in the Jund deck. I picked up 2 Solemn Simulacrums for 2 different decks. They will each go in some deck. And when I actually play the deck, when I actually build the deck, you'll see it. And then I have this Deep Glow Skate. So 4, 3, 3. Comes to battlefield, double the number of each kind of counter on any number of target permanents. So if I'm doubling counters on something that has a few plus and plus counters, a reach counter and a flying counter, it gets 2 reach counters and 2 flying counters. So there's more crap to keep track of. I'm supposed to put the counters on. In effect, I probably won't because I can't really see the corner cases. Okay, so I remove the, somebody does something to remove one of the flying counters. Alright, well, it's got another one. Why? Deep Glow Skate, that's why. So, this is going to go into, I'm going to completely redo Phoenix. I'm going to take them apart, and I'm going to rebuild the deck I haven't had for a long time, because it quit being viable, but I've got some new ideas for it. Some evil ideas. Ideas that will be incredibly amusing to everybody that isn't me. Sorry. To everybody that is me. So, I plan to have a lot of fun with the deck. I plan to do a lot of interesting things that will probably cause everybody else to go, Jesus Christ, can you stop and just play normally? No, I cannot. So, I don't know if I like this, to be honest. The art is kind of weird. At first glance, I stood there and just kind of did what I'm doing now for about a minute, trying to decide, do I really want this? I love the quote. I love that they've got a real-world quote from the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I like his foil, even though it's kind of a shitty foiling process. But the art is a little bit goofy. But the more I think about it, the more I think, okay, this is a throwback to the first days of Magic. And I've been bitching for a long time that they should have more art that is throwbacks to the first days of Magic, so I need to support it. So, if it's a little bit goofy, I just need to take it and go, because I've been complaining about it and they're giving it to me. So, I've got it. Arcane Signet, I didn't have this art before. Arcane Signet is rapidly becoming one of the most well-represented cards in all of my decks. Sol Ring, of course, is first. Eternal Witness is well-represented. Command Tower, of course. I've got Command Tower in everything except for Azami. She, for some reason, doesn't seem to need one. So I've got this Arcane Signet. It was cheap. It was a lot cheaper than I thought. I recall these being not cheap, and now they are with this Gauntlet effect. I mean, this could have been Gauntlet of Might. In fact, I bet it was. I bet this is Gauntlet of Might slush art, and they just said, yeah, just slap it on Arcane Signet. The players won't care. They'll eat it up. Then I got this Manifold Key. So when I was talking about Shroom, somebody said, why don't you have a Manifold Key instead of the Voltaic Key? And I said, why don't I have a Manifold Key instead of a Voltaic Key? And then I thought, what is a Manifold Key? So I looked it up. I was like, why don't I have this instead of a Voltaic Key? So it costs the same, it does the same, and it has an additional 3-tap target creature can't be blocked this turn. So it's a Voltaic Key with an extra effect on it. It's power creep. I don't like the power creep. I don't like obsoleting perfectly good, perfectly usable cards. But I'll take it because they have it. So this will go in either Shroom or Karavek. Both of them have Voltaic Keys. Shroom is more likely to attack, so probably go into Shroom. Got this Basilisk color. This is going into the Jund Sacrifice deck that I'm building. So different art, different text, still 1, still gives creature Death Touch and Lifelink, still equips for 2, and it's cheap. I mean, I'm of two minds about this. So a lot of these cards have become really, really cheap and incredibly accessible compared to their other versions. For example, the World Wake Basilisk Collar foil is still rather expensive comparatively. I think it's about 10 or 15 euro. I haven't looked it up lately. Now, it's nice that players are getting the cards, but they need the cards to have some value. Rudy talks about this a lot, Rudy at Alpha Investments. The cards have to have value or else the game collapses. Even if people get all the cards they want and they're 100% accessible and they're printed into the ground cheap game pieces, as he says, what will happen is the secondary market, which helps prop up a lot of the interest in the game, will take serious hits and will come near collapse. Reserve list would be left holding it up for the most part. So the cards have to have some value, and as much as some people don't like that, that helps the overall health of the game and keeps it running for all of us, keeps the interest, gets people excited about more than just what they can play. They want to open some bomb rare, the lottery ticket phenomenon. Anyway, enough of that. I got this No Mercy. So I was thinking in Phoenix, maybe I should have a No Mercy. The Judge foil was about 20 euro. The original Invasion, I think. I believe this is from Invasion originally. The original one was about 50 euro in foil, and this was 5, something like that. So pretty cheap. Anyway, 2 black. Whenever a creature deals damage to you, destroy it. We had years to prepare, where they had mere minutes. So that's cool. I like that it's retro frame. It still looks pretty close to the original. Obviously, the black and the foil treatment is different. They did not perfectly replicate that old foil treatment. I don't think they even were trying to, because it's all over the card. The foil treatment is all over the card, whereas in the old foils, it's pretty much just the border that's foiled. And of course the set symbol is different. Same with the Psychosis Crawler. Psychosis Crawler is going into a rebuild of a deck I used to have a long time ago. In fact, I sold off a lot of the pieces that are really necessary for that deck. And looking up Psychosis Crawler, this is €2. So I thought, okay, I get a retro frame, a foil for €2, or I get the original, was it New Phyrexia? I think it was New Phyrexia, for $15.20. Alright, that's an easy decision. I'm just trying to build a deck. I'm not worried about the value of this card, because even if you have the higher value version, if you go to sell it, you either have to sell it way below what other people are selling it for in order to gain attention, or you have to wait a long time because it's not in demand. Hardly anybody wants this card. You get random weirdos like me that suddenly decide they want it for a deck. But if you had the full art, not full art, if you have the original foil Psychosis Crawler from, I think it's New Phyrexia, and you put it on MKM, it's going to sit there for a long time, unless you have it at a really low price. Speaking of that, check this out. Let's take it out of the sleeve. My daughter's home. This is a card that I hated for a long time, and I did not want to see played because I did not want to deal with it. I didn't want some bullshit going off that copies all the spells, makes everybody else copy the spells, messes up the stack, takes 15 minutes to resolve. I don't want any of that. And I don't know about you. I don't know if your playgroup has a Yiji. Our playgroup, excuse me, used to have a Yiji, and then he moved back home to Canada. Yiji is a level 3 judge and a chaos player. He will do crazy shit and put crazy things to play just to see what happens. Even if he knows damn well it's not a good idea, he will still do it. For example, the time he played Time Sifter into the face of Mirren. So the guy playing Mirren was like, okay, so at the beginning of all of our upkeeps, we flip over the top card, and whoever has the highest casting cost of the card revealed takes the next turn. Yes, that's what Time Sifter does. You know, I've got a whole bunch of high casting cost creatures in my deck, and that's what it does, right? Oh, okay, well, anyway, it resolves. Let's go. So the Mirren player got all the turns. But usually still had fun watching what happened. He's the kind of guy that would play Hive Mind and sit back and observe the table and laugh, and then he would drop a chain of acid into it just to see what would happen. Most likely one of the chains of acid would hit the Hive Mind, but then you've got 4 copies of Chain of Acid running around in a 4-man pod that can be redirected, that can be sent back, because they are copies of the spell. So, just chaos. And I didn't appreciate at the time how much fun that was when he did shit like that. Mainly because I didn't like it when it was going on. But some of those are the best games. And I'm rebuilding, I'll tell you, I'm rebuilding Nekazar. So I'm going to put this into Nekazar. And I think it'll be really interesting. For example, if I wheel a fortune, that's 7 wheels. So in a 4-man pod, that's 28 cards that everybody is drawing. That's a lot of damage from Nekazar. And no, that's... Is it when they draw the card? Yeah, when they draw the card. And Niv Mizzet is going to be the deck. Basically, I'm thinking of the deck as kind of a rogues gallery. I'm considering putting Jora the Gitu in the deck because I can't play her as a commander anymore, really. It just doesn't work. Niv Mizzet is going to be in the deck rather than build his own deck. Just, and maybe I'll break up Phoenix and put Phoenix in the deck too. So I've also got a mill strategy. Just this absolute chaos. Black, blue, red deck. Just nuts. And I think this will be perfect for it. I know there's other chaos cards. I know there's other bizarre things I could do. but I'm not going to put too many of them in there. It's not going to be a real Yuji deck. Yuji would put about 10, 15 chaos causing cards in the deck, just because he wants to see what happens when they get played. He's curious. I don't know if you have a guy like that in your pod. It seems with the new precons and the lads I play with, they've, for the most part, stopped building their own decks, and now they're buying precons because they're so good, and the precons are focused, and they're playable, and they're fun. So we don't have a chaos guy anymore. So I'm going to see if I want to be the chaos guy. Should be interesting. I mean, basically, I'm going to play this and just to see what happens, just like Yuji would have done. Speaking of Nekazar, I got this to protect Nekazar when I build the deck. So, Dark Steel Plate. Juril Wanvuli Recluse. So I'm building a Gen deck that has a lot of sacrifice. I need creatures to sacrifice. I'm having some trouble figuring out how exactly... No, the commander, he draws cards. So, once the commander's in play, I will be drawing 2 cards a turn. Until that point, I'm trying to think of how I want to reliably draw 2 cards per turn. Do I just want to slap a Bonder's Enclave in there and hope I draw it? Do I want a Skull Clamp because it is a sacrifice deck? Or do I want Sylvan Library? Or do I want something else completely? I've got a Candles of Ling. That's cheap, I already own it. It's 2 colorless to cast, 4 colorless tap. Reveal the top card of your library. If it does not share a name with a card in your graveyard, draw a card, something like that. But anyway, so she's good because she comes down early, and all I have to do is figure out how I'm going to be drawing the extra cards. And then I'll get a 2/2 kitty cat every turn, and if things go well, and I've got a handful of cards, I can make all my creatures big, all of them, big. She says, 4, green, until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness big, where big is the number of cards in your hand. I didn't know about this guy. I didn't know about him at all. I was looking up Ryusei because I thought maybe I wanted a Ryusei, a foil one, for the sacrifice deck. And this guy came up because I just searched for Ryusei. And I was looking at him. Holy shit, he only costs 2? He's a 2/2 goblin? And red creatures, so if he comes down, and he basically, if he comes down and I spend 3, then the other red floating I can spend to give all our creatures haste, including him. Well, Aurelia needs more haste effects, and she's got a goblin theme, so he's perfect. He suits her down to the ground. And 5, without tapping him. So 5, create a 5/5 red dragon spirit, token of flying. Activate only if you have an attacking modified creature. So if I've got something, equipment on it, or an enchantment on it, or it counters, most likely be equipment because Aurelia doesn't do many counters. She doesn't have many auras, but she's got a few pieces of equipment. So I attack with equipped creature. I make the dragon. I'm already attacking at that point, so the dragon cannot attack. But if Aurelia isn't playing, she taps and everybody attacks again, then I can give it haste and attack. So this guy I think is going to be really good. And I have not acquired a Dockside Extortionist for Aurelia because of the cost. I think I'll just slot him in that open position. Instead of Dockside, I'll just put him in the missing slot and see how he goes. Maybe I don't need Dockside. Yeah, there's the other Solemn Simulacrum. Time-shifted flat. I looked at a time-shifted foil a few months ago at Cherny Retige. I just wanted to see how it looked because I was thinking of buying one. It looked terrible. It looked like trash. I said, nah, I'll just take a flat one. Alright, so let's see what these are. I kind of know what these are. You don't know what these are. How did they package these? I kind of want to tear into it so I can hurry up and show you if I'm wasting too much of your time. So, Jesus Christ. How do I open this? Oh! Here's my opalescence for Kestia. I rebuilt Rafik, the many into Kestia the cultivator. She has a lot of enchantments. And this is the second effect of this type I'll have in the deck. So I've got Starfield of Nyx. Starfield of Nyx, of course, costs one more. It costs 4 colors and a white. And its trick is I have to have 5 other global enchantments. I have to have 5 other non-ore enchantments. But it also says, at the beginning of your upkeep, you can take an enchantment out of your graveyard and put it into play. So it makes me jump through hoops to make my enchantments into creatures, but it has an extra benefit. Opalescence, I don't jump through any hoops. It provides another benefit. It just makes all my other enchantments into creatures, and they can smash, and they're enchantment creatures. So if I attack with them and I have Kestia in play, I draw a card for each attacking enchantment. Yeah. Alright, let's see what this is. Ooh, he packed it pretty good. Alright. So, this is... I don't know where this is going, but this is going somewhere. I started to really love these effects. There's so many things that exile everything, so many wrath effects that the lads are playing these days, that giving my creatures a break from reality sometimes is a good idea. How does this look? Because some of these look terrible. This one looks pretty good. They did mess up the art. I ordered 4 Screw the Critics retro foil from this set, and the art was so dark, so pixelated, it was illegible. It was just rubbish. So didn't take them, didn't buy them. But that's good. Alright, so I don't know where that's going, but it's going somewhere. Let's see what this is. Shark Typhoon. Okay, Kestia is now online. Kestia, coming online. Prepare for the beatdown. So, 6 and a blue, 5 and a blue, whenever you cast a non-creature spell. And she's got a lot of enchantments. Create a big blue shark creature token with flying, where big is that spell's CMC. Oh man, if I get this, if I have this in play and I cast Omniscience, I'll get a 10/10 shark, 10/10 flying shark. And then if I cast Opalescence, I'll have a 10/10 Omniscience too. Oh, this deck is going to be so much fun. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, it's got cycling. Yeah, who cares? I'm not going to cycle it. Well, maybe I will. If I have Starfield of Nyx out, why not cycle it? Huh. Because Starfield Nyx says you get it back anyway during your upkeep. Yeah, end of my immediately preceding opponent's turn. Cycle it. Create a shark. And then get it back with Starfield of Nyx. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you, Wizards, for taking on that extra ability that I didn't care about at first. I ordered 2 of these. I'm missing one. Do you see anything in there? I don't see anything in there. So I'm missing one. Oh well. I'll write the guy and I'll just have him send me it or refund me. We'll sort it out. So I was looking at this and I thought, wow, that's pretty cheap for that effect. So power and toughness equal to number of creature cards in all graveyards. So even mine. Now if I said all opponents and I do something to exile their graveyards, well, then he dies. And that doesn't sound like fun. But he counts my graveyard too. And he only costs 2, and I understand why he's so cheap. This is only 50 euro cents. I was supposed to get 2 for €1. But because you have to jump through hoops, I mean, can't wake up, make them mill 4 cards, hope you had a creature, kill some of their creatures. You have to do some tricks in order to put creatures in the graveyard in order to make them big and interesting. But in a commander game, 4 players, everybody killing everybody's creatures, everybody attacking and things dying. Hell, turn 5 or 6, or probably be at least 10 dead creatures among all 4 players. So for 2 mana, he could be a 10/10. That's pretty damn cool, I think. And this is the alternate art. Oh, it's by Kev Walker. I didn't even notice it first. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's what I got in the post. That's what I got from LGS. And then I have her. I have Nira, Wild Mage. And I'm not sure what to do with her. Should I put her into my pending Nekazar build? So she's 4 blue-red for a 2/7. She's tough, really tough. Not very powerful. When you cast a spell, you may put on the bottom of its owner's library. If you do, so if I cast somebody else's card from exile, it would go on the bottom of the library if I wanted to. And then I review cards in the library from mine until I show off a non-land card, and then I may cast it without paying its mana cost. I can only do it once per turn. But that doesn't say only during my turn. It doesn't say only as a sorcery. So I can cast instants and things. I can put Teferi Mage's Alfir in there. I can have Winding Canyons. And I can cast spells my opponent's turn and just see if I get something bigger. Have any of you played her? Is she any good? Is she fun? Let me know. Let me know if she's fun. Let me know if she's fun or if she's just boring, and I'll just put her in the art binder and forget about her. But otherwise... So if I have Nekazar, if I'm playing Nekazar, and I have Hive Mind out, I can cast a spell, and I can put it on the bottom of my library, get something else with her. Meanwhile, the other 3 lads each have a copy of that spell going off. So let's say Wheel of Fortune. I put my wheel on the bottom of my library, look for something else more fun, and the other lads each have a Wheel of Fortune going off. So that's 21 cards they're drawing. And if I have Nekazar in play, that's 21 points of damage they're taking. Wow. Well, they're each taking... Yeah, we are, because one wheel resolves, 7. Next wheel resolves, 7. And if I have Mindcrank in play... Ooh, Nekazar is going to be dirty. Ooh, this is going to be good.